Bolivia. Have you ever heard of this city? No?
No.
No, not the city.
Okay, I have just found it on the map for you. This is Bolivia. You know Bolivia?
Yeah.
Bolivia
Yes.
is in South,
South America.
yeah, southwest of America, southwest of Brazil, in South America. Of course, it is in South America. And this is Cochabamba. That's the city, almost at the heart of Bolivia. It is located. You know, Bolivia is not a very rich country, and at some parts of the history, it had a lot of debt to the World Bank, and so we've got some people.
And La Paz is the capital of Bolivia, is it?
Cochabamba?
No,
No,
La
no.
Paz.
No,
La Paz is a
La
capital.
Paz.
Yes, La
Yeah,
Paz.
La Paz is the capital, I think. Yeah, that's the
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you
Good
today?
morning. Good, thank you. How
Morning.
are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so it's a city, it's a big city in the at the heart of Bolivia. That's what we're talking about. So the second question, have you heard of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund? Do you know what these organizations do?
No.
Yes, they owe money to some country to
lend.
do some, yeah,
They
lend
lend.
money, yeah,
Mhm.
to some country
Mhm.
for, I think, for some essential work,
Mhm.
like treat their water mm,
Supplies.
supply, yeah, treatment, something
Mhm.
like this,
Water supply treatment. they call it.
or wastewater treatment,
Good.
something like this. Yeah,
Mhm. Big projects.
yeah.
So if
That
country,
that is essential for public health and something like this.
yeah, that's right. And what about International Monetary Fund?
I don't know about this. I don't know.
Any ideas about World Bank, International Monetary Fund?
I think it is an organization that dependent to the nation union, I think, and
United Nations.
yeah, United Nations, and gathering data about the country's situation, and after that, for example, borrow money to some countries. Yeah.
Lend. No, sir. They lend money, not borrow.
They lend money. Yeah, yeah.
They do not borrow money.
Yeah, yeah. They lend money to some countries, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know how many countries are members there?
I think near 200 countries.
Good. It's about 100. It's not about. It is exactly 189 countries who are members there. They have collected some money there. They could pay for, helping the other countries. They share. They have got some shares there actually. They share something in the World Bank and also International Monetary Fund, and they can. Yeah, every country can borrow some money from World Bank, and the World Bank will lend them some money in order to invest in important projects, very big projects in their company, like what Homera said, like water supply treatment, or sometimes even irrigation treatments, or sometimes even just desert removal. So these are the things that usually are supplied by this World Bank or International Monetary Fund. Okay.
Yeah.
And the main goal of these companies is to remove poverty, especially extreme poverty. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, especially they help countries like African countries who are really in need of some supplies or some help. So the third question is the water supply in your community publicly owned?
What it means? It
It is not privatized. Is
it's
it publicly owned?
governmental. It means it's governmental.
Yeah, yeah. We don't call it government. It is public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is publicly owned. Is it here? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is paid to municipality. It's usually
In Iran, it's publicly, I think,
What about other
publicly
countries you
owned.
know of? Like in Brazil, Vivian? Is it publicly owned?
Oh, it's a private.
Is it private?
Yeah,
Privatized?
yeah.
What about other countries?
In Ecuador is public.
In Ecuador, it is public?
Yes, belongs to the government. But already with economic situations, they want to create as private. They want to sell to be private. This.
Yeah, usually when the economy is low in a country, they will be privatized. You know, these kind of supplies and sources would be privatized.
Excuse me, Sam. What is the difference between public and private water supply? I don't know what is the difference between them.
Okay. Can anybody answer, Farzana? Did you get the question? She says that she doesn't know what's the difference between private water supply and public water supply, or private water companies and public water companies.
Yeah, in the public, the one company responsible for one company come from the private sector, responsible for providing infrastructure for the reaching the water to the homes, to the properties and something like that. And in the public sector, the government or a company from government responsible for these activities, I think.
Yeah. Anything else?
Public owner, I think the water, I think if you live in this community, every home can use the water. If the private water, I think like a well, you're living in a countryside, you make the water just your home can use it. That's the private water.
Yes,
No,
in a sense, it's true, but that's not what we mean here. Yeah,
I think it's about how they give the water to the properties and the house. It is a private company. Maybe a private company is responsible for doing this. So it's a private type. But if the municipality, I think, if the municipality do this, it's a community publicity owned type of water supply.
Yeah. So the benefits of these publicly owned companies are public.
Yes.
You know, the benefit.
Yes.
Is
It back to people.
Yeah. It goes into your
all
taxes,
community.
and it helps the municipality to run the different expenses they have. But
yes.
But when it is private, it means that people do not take the benefit. Only a private person, just one person, is taking the advantage of this, you know, the benefits of this company. Am I clear, Prasanna?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So some companies are publicly owned. It means that if people have shares there and they can receive the benefits. Some companies are not public; they are privatized. So just one person, for example, Nasser is going to just start a new business. Who's going to take the benefits of this business? It's only Nasser who's going to receive all the benefits. Okay, that is called a private company. But when it is publicly owned, it means that nobody is the owner. All the shares, all the benefits are shared among all people. Okay, so that's the difference. Usually, water supply or those natural resources are publicly owned in a country. It means that they shouldn't be privatized most of the time. But in some countries, when they have a lot of loans to World Bank or International Monetary Funds, they decide to sell or to pay back their loans by selling their natural resources to other countries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
So number 4, do you know how much your monthly water bill is? How much is it? Almost. Just give me an approximate figure.
I think it is very closer and very related to the number of people who living in the property. But according to my idea and my bills, approximately $100 in each month.
100.
Yeah.
Any other water bill?
For us about $100 per month.
About 100.
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah, it's between 90 to $100 per month. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. I think it depends the season, but between 90 to 100.
Yeah, is your gardening too much?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're using a lot of money, a lot of water. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the next question, 5. How can citizens protest against government action in non-violent ways? How can citizens protest? You know, protest?
Yeah.
Protest means complain, to riot, to say that you don't like something against government action in a non-violent way. What do you think?
Depends the country, depends the level of the education.
Okay, give us some solutions of non-violent.
Maybe with not paying your tax, your bills.
You don't pay the taxes. Okay.
Maybe I don't. I just guess. I just
one
guess.
way is
Maybe
not to pay the bills.
Yeah. It's
any other way?
Demonstration.
And teachers don't go to their class.
Okay, what do you call it? We had it before.
It's a strike.
Yes, strike.
Strike demonstration. Yes.
Yeah, they can go on a strike.
Yeah.
Demonstrations. Yes, another way is non-violent demonstrations. Very good. Any other ways? No? Okay, let's go to the reading. Back to lesson. Have you done the vocabulary preview or shall we do it together? Because I just sent you late last night. Maybe
I haven't done.
You have not had
I didn't see this.
Yeah, I didn't also receive this.
We
no
didn't
problem.
receive this.
Okay, we will do it right now, don't worry. So, we have got some vocabulary you have to match. The first one is stopping work as means of a protest.
Strike.
Strike, yeah.
A strike.
That's a strike. The next one is a person who lives in a particular place.
Residence.
Yes, low, take over.
Resident.
Municipal, resident.
Yeah.
The next word is a legal agreement.
Contract.
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 That's right, contract. And the next one is the amount of money